It's very important that we support the NCLF because it's giving us a political voice. It's articulating our needs, our policy needs to policymakers. So it's very important that we are involved with the dialogue. We've got expertise within our constituency who are leading figures in these fields and spheres of influence. So we need to be around the table. We need to connect with those leaders so that they can speak into the issues. I also believe that we need to connect with the laity, with the community, with the everyday congregant that is sat on the pews, because they are at the front lines. They are on the front lines of policy decisions. So we need to hear from their voices and create a pathway for their voice to be heard.
NCLF will provide that platform whereby we will have a much stronger voice. It will be great for us as churches to be unified and to have a unified voice through NCLF.
I personally will want to ask churches to get engaged, taking what they are doing for the community to the community. Churches getting involved with the Manifesto will help our young people to have a better future in this country. We have young people who are already in politics, they are councillors, some of them are MPs, and we have various professionals. This Manifesto will ginger churches to bring all this facility and framework they have into community, and also it will affect our youth for tomorrow.
This is an amazing organization and the vision is absolutely fantastic. I believe there is no better time than the one we are in for the Black voice, for the Christian voice to be heard, and to be heard everywhere, really. Everyone is needed. I'm a great believer in participation in government at every level.
Synergy, there's collaboration. The challenge that we face, particularly as the African and Caribbean community, is huge. And no one denomination or congregation, doesn't matter how big that denomination is or how big that congregation is, we all need each other. The church's responsibility is to mobilize the entire community so that we could address the issue, so that we can make our future for our children, our grandchildren, far better than what it is today.
We need to be much more visible in the marketplace. We need to be much more visible on political platforms. We need to be out there. I think historically we've been taught that, we are not of this world, but we're actually in it. And we have a voice. And I feel that we need to use our voices for good.
I want to take the manifesto back to our churches and our members and really encourage our members to get involved in seeking to implement some of these recommendations, or get involved in some way. Get involved in, download the app and join the forum. Offer your help, your support. Pray, give financially. But get involved, because this is a great incentive, a great vision, a very clear, very compelling vision, and I really believe that God has deposited in NCLF, who are the receptacle of this great vision.
It's an incredibly important enabling document that provides the framework for further political activity and mobilisation. This election coming up is an opportunity for us to work to press the reset button to make sure whatever the new vision of Britain is, it one that values and respects Black agency, Black Christianity, Black faith, Black self-organisation and mobilisation.
We need to mobilise our Gen Z, our millennials. We need to be making sure that the kingdom of our Lord Jesus is established here. Engaging not just at the spiritual level, but also at the physical level. And when those two meet, we move faster.
For a project like this, people ought to understand that it takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of sweat. And not just to leave it to a few to handle on their behalf, but to prayerfully consider different ways that they can lend support to what is happening.
A Black Christian voice, bringing cohesion, spearheading issues of the day, the cultural issues that affect us as a church that we need to give voice to. The manifesto addresses and flags up issues and articulates it in a very clear and concise manner. It's almost like a manual that somebody can pick up and say, yes, family and ICT and community life and prison and media. It's very clear. It's also a call to action. And so it challenges, it inspires, but equips and informs and educates so that we can deliver action.
What the manifesto does, it actually provides not just a framework, but some very, very practical action points where churches can be more engaged in supporting their local communities. I think it would be a wonderful thing for pastors to actually spend some time, and teachers and leaders within the churches going through some of the recommendations. We can't continue to curse the darkness. We've got to light a candle, and to some extent the manifesto is that candle that we can all light and use.
What a wonderful, great initiative, especially when we look at the spiritual, political, economic, and social atmosphere of our nation, not just the United Kingdom, but in fact the nations of the world. We cannot but rally around and give massive support to the great work that the National Church Leaders Forum is doing.
NCLF, the bridge that has helped the church to grow a space into the community, into the nation, the political space, the economic space, to help the church understand its place in the health and well-being of the people of color and the pursuit of justice. I gladly, really endorse, celebrate, appreciate NCLF for the great work it is doing and for the great future I see. For the black person, for the black church to make a greater impact than it has done in the past and not get to be in its own small corner, we need voices like NCLF.
The manifesto in itself is a legacy. It speaks to our hindsight, it speaks to our insight, and it speaks into our foresight. It speaks into where we're coming from, where we are, where we want to go. And that is the depth of legacy. The most powerful legacies capture those three areas well. This is a tool that speaks one voice, collective action. We have an opportunity right now to speak louder than ever before, but also we must speak it with compassion, with courage, with clarity, and with conviction.
We know what it is.
NCLF,
One voice, one collective action.